Welcome back, everyone. Let's play Arms Trade Tycoon, episode number 8 slash episode number 2. If you want to start to call the last one the restart, which I apologize about. I wish I could have taken the first one to completion, but at least now we have better tanks. But then also the one that didn't win the contract. I will never live it down that one didn't win the contract. I don't think there's a way to make a better tank. I'm just telling you. Anyway, so this episode will be basically full of combat reports. So that might, I'm not sure, that might get boring for you. I don't think there's really anything else we can do, like I said, so we'll just kind of plow through on the research, which we've already completely researched 2 categories, and then fired our poor administrator. I would like to say not fired, rather say sent on vacation. Unpaid leave, sabbatical, well, unpaid sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. So there must be some kind of political, marketing type word which covers this nicely. In any case, it is the end of the month soon, and there's one thing I should consider doing, even though we are really doing fine, is potentially managing the amount of staff we have. As we cannot build any more tanks, our workers are going to be pretty useless. And as we have no ability to build new tanks, we also have no reason to have more than 40 engineers, since nothing can happen. I mean, we can propose new designs. I guess we can propose new designs and win if there is another experimental contract, but that's the end of our capabilities, is just to sit here as a think tank. Since there are 40 engineers available for hire, I will fire the 5 that we have. Not fire, that's such a harsh word. Again, unpaid sabbatical. Vacation days, mandatory sick leave, and then we'll move on. Okay, so we have light engine components. What is this, the last light engine components? That sounds like, oh right, okay, so I think that this was okay, now we can fire him. This is just a rehash of what happened at the very end of the last episode. What happened is I did not save the game, and I was able to load the autosave, which thank God for that autosave. In fact, I would love game developers, if you are listening. I don't think they are, but it's not their fault. I shouldn't expect that they watch my series. What I should do is meander over to their Discord and propose my own little thing, but I think it would be good if they have 2 autosaves. Like every day I think it's every day, but have one which is 2 days prior, because every now and then you'll have an autosave which doesn't help you at all, and you just keep thinking, if only I could go back 1 day further, then we would be okay. So it doesn't help if they only it's kind of like almost like Iron Man saves right now, but if in the potentially buggy state of the game, they might consider a more generous autosave policy, where 2 autosaves, or maybe 1 from the previous week instead of the previous day. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, we have officially completed both of these now. So out the door with you. This poor guy. It's a Groundhog's Day for him. He's being fired all over again. Goodbye, cruel world. Then we'll remove Eustace and put him into our research position, and then we'll move on. I have no idea what I did for the research last time, so I guess we'll be picking something new. Oh, I think I was moving towards the Mark 8, and that does make sense to me. So let's go ahead and do the rolled homogeneous steel plates. So it turns out all my effort, like min-maxing the research days, it doesn't really, okay, it does amount to something, because you want the research as fast as possible so you can get the designs out as fast as possible. The best designs, maybe you can go 1 research tier further. But now that we're here where we are, which is at the end of the game demo, I guess, there's not much left we can do. All right, so 12 more. This is the last of our resources, right? It was this. So just in time for these workers to be, some of them need to be sent away. Company C is under formation. I believe this is also a medium light cavalry, whatever. Oh, okay, sorry. This is Company C. So this should be the cavalry tank, the light version, scouting one. Essentially the Whippet that we just made. Let's also take a look at how things are going battle-wise. There might be another battle going on. I know that our Mark 5 has not yet met their tanks. So Great Britain victory here, Great Britain victory here. Again, I want to make this point. Don't expect my gameplay to be the norm. I don't want to I don't want this to come off as egotistical or, yeah. Basically I don't want to. I'm not trying to praise myself or anything, but I have just spent a lot of time looking at all the numbers and trying to min-max. It's kind of my playstyle in general anyway. So don't treat this as the way the game will be played by almost anybody else, or even should be played. So we are winning, but I think my first gameplay series was a much better benchmark of where a player might more naturally be without like spending too much time or already having played the game a lot. And that's where I lost with my Mark 1 prototype, right? It lost that first battle, or I can tell you that in my separate playthrough, which was, I had a little bit of the experience from the previous one. Oh, I need to pause so we can. That one I had some losses with the Mark 1 prototype, and I was doing okay with Mark 5, but still losing every now and then. Anyways, I think we're going to thin out our workers quite a bit here because, again, we have nothing else for them to build. What I wanted to go down to is 120 minus 50, so let's go down to 70, which means we need to drop 43 people. Okay, so now at will, I can get back up to max capacity, but I'll be hovering at a much lower salary until that is necessary. And by the way, I have to say that as a mechanic for making the player wary of firing people, having an available for hire is pretty cool. I like this. It has forced me to carefully balance when I fire engineers and when I keep them and all that. And I personally don't like the idea of firing engineers at the end of the month and then picking them up the day after or whatever, because I feel like it is gamey. It's not just a little gamey. It's quite gamey. But I've been doing it just because, well, I don't know. The capability exists. It's hard not to use it. I shouldn't be, though. Okay, now we'll go ahead and take our lumps. We'll keep 70 employed, though. And we are receiving alarming reports from our intelligence service. It is now evident that German High Command is not idle. In high secrecy, the German engineers have developed their own heavy tank. Only the name of this project is known to us, A7V. But what hides behind these letters? We will certainly find out soon enough. I think that the game developers have also been doing a good job polishing up the English. It was always understandable, but it was, every now and then there'd be something which is a little off-putting, or obviously something which is obviously not correct. And kudos to them for, actually taking the time to correct those things. All right, so new research is complete. Rolled homogeneous steel plates. I guess we'll get a notification when the next battle starts or whatever. In the meantime, we could get to this. And this actually has bulkheads too, which have a -2 crew awareness. That actually, okay, I think that, does that make sense? We live with it anyway. And distributed fuel tanks, range of 6, my goodness. Transportability of 2 is pretty good too. Those are handy. So we'll take 8 days to get those. Spherical mounts, I think that these aren't as good as the other... Where is it? The Skeens ball mount. I think that's better. Well, the stats appear to be better. Okay, let's take a look at the war. There was something interesting though. Oh, wait. The movement is... Oh, so there must be a new battle now. And that must be their A7V coming in. So things are active. We have 13 here. Can I get... Thank you. Regular. Yeah, so these are regular experience. Mark 5 Rev A. I'm very proud of that tank. God, I tried so hard to win that gun. Don't ask me to stop talking about it. I can't. Okay, this is crew level. That's what I saw. Interesting. Well, let's move on. Reputation plus 10 because high command favors tanks. This is just, I guess, a lump bonus for everyone. I'm not sure. I guess I should ask the developers at some point how they reconcile having all this tank action so early on in the war. Obviously, the first tanks, in reality, didn't arrive, I think, until 1916. Okay, so now there's German submarines, which are decreasing naval safety. This means essentially, I think, a higher risk for some materials. To me, it's a little confusing why Archer steel, which I mean, this looks like it's British homeland. So I could understand why rubber would go up because it's British Malaya. But if it's Archer steel, I don't know why this one has a safety hit as well. It might just be that they like somehow want the safety number to be going down for everyone. I mean, obviously it makes buying from the United States a lot worse. So their 98% drops down to 58%. Moving on. All right, Company D. Now this is the one I'm pretty sure which is going to use, well, this is actually also going to use, I believe, the Whippet design. Yeah, so they're forming up these, and look at that, crew level, Company D has crew level 3. Now note that that is what the situation is. Company C has only crew level 1, Company D has crew level 3. I actually would rather have my tanks going to Company D because they'll have better crews, and then my tanks have a better chance to perform. It's kind of a little politics here. Like, it's almost like when medical people only want healthy people to apply for their testing of a new drug because they want it to succeed. Now, ideally, you would just want to find out what the drug is capable of and not win the money, but humans being humans. So we are going to fight. Oh, if the Mark 1 prototype is going to fight it first. I have to say, at least this Mark 1 prototype has decent protection and reasonable firepower hard. So it may, if it can put a dent in the Sturmpanzer 2, that would be great. But I don't expect us to win. I don't think it would be reasonable to expect us to win. That's my infantry tank fighting their anti-tank tank. Okay, so explaining their close ties with some figures in the high command, a competing company has begun development on ideas that have not even been made public by the War Office. That would sound like what the details they would get from winning a contract, but they didn't win the Whippet contract. I won that. I think. Didn't I win that? I did, yeah, because I got the information like 23 tanks, and I just made all of them I could. Well, the only thing we can do is just wait on that information, see how that materializes in the game, and in the meantime, maybe we can get some. I mean, we could definitely make a better tank. That's just should be obvious. This would be interesting. Bulletproof glass. Okay, sure, why not? Let's go with this next. It doesn't really matter, but I still find myself wondering what the next best move is. Perhaps there's some merit in thinking, oh, okay, so let's go over to the Battle of Marne. There's some merit in thinking about what's the appropriate next step of research for when it does matter. All right, so we don't know how many are going to survive. We could check. We know that we could check. This time it will be a complete surprise to me, as well as those of you who closed your eyes last time. Really cool battle scenes, though. I think that they have done this really well. The fact that these tanks are animated and all that. It's hard to find the tanks, though. It really is hard to find where they are. I hate that we always have one. I believe this is not generic. You don't have to have a tank which is stuck on the side. Okay, there's theirs. Oh, and there's ours. Come on, Mark 1. Hopefully our reconnaissance is at least better. Okay. Facing off against each other. Okay, we get the first shot in. Oh, you can actually see the little sight on top of the gun. Oh, okay, we hit him. It's on fire. Yeah, but it's key. Oh, no. Oh, no. I've seen this before. Please. I've seen this before, and I have to say it's not. I don't think this ends well for us. Their tiny little gun. Look how much bigger our gun is. Yep. And now they're just going to roll past us. Yeah, so this is what I expected. This is what I've seen before. So this will be a defeat for us. We'll read all about it in the details in a moment, but this ugly looking German tank has just surpassed us. But then, in my own defense, this is the Mark I prototype. This is the first tank ever. So the fact that they were able to build a counter to it doesn't strike me as that bad. Wow, 3 were broken arriving on the field. Okay, so the unit has failed to successfully deploy. What was the problem? Transportability again. We've already seen this, I think. Okay, so we look. We only took out 1 tank with our hit? Why? I wonder why. Because we lacked ammo? So this is when I talk about a hard rate of fire. I don't really care about the hard rate of fire because if we lack ammo, then it doesn't really matter, right? Oh, the scrolling in this window is not good. Okay. Ah, that killed 6 of ours. Damn it. Hard accuracy, hard rounds. So, it doesn't say anything about hard rate of fire even. And look at, although it says due to lack of ammo storage, although both of these were shown as satisfiable, I guess that's satisfactory. Okay. These are the things which I think worked in our favor. Agility, so we actually have thumbs ups here. Ricochet. Enemy shot did not ricochet from the tank armor. Whole front width. Well, that kind of makes sense. This is my Mark I. And nothing else got the double thumbs down. So it's just it's the whole front. We need to better armor the front. I've been very meticulous about armoring the sides too, but I probably should remove any idea of armoring anything but the front at first. At least until we're hit from the side. So it was penetrated. By the way, I'm surprised that whole front width matters for ricochets. Well, I guess it does matter a little bit, yeah. So, angle... Yeah, okay, this is weird. Ricochet and penetration, I guess that they should be drawing from the same... Like, ricochet should mostly be about... There should be a thickness component to it, but it should be a lot about the angle. And penetration, if it's not a ricochet, should just purely be armor thickness. Angle would only help you in that it's an effective increasing of the thickness. But, I mean, if it's not... Okay, so if it's not a ricochet and it doesn't penetrate, what happens? Are they assuming that the shell just shatters? I don't think that's something that happens very often. But okay, I'm not an expert. Let me not say anything. I'd be curious what happens if you have no ricochet and no penetration. What that means. Because I would guess it would be a ricochet. Like, the shell would shatter, I guess? I guess it just shatters, yeah. Alright, so damage. Tank unit suffered collateral damage and has retreated from the battle. Let's see, look at the final numbers. 9. Oh my goodness! 6 repaired! Oh my gosh! We lost 9 tanks, we're down to 4. A huge reputation loss. Jeez, man. Ooh, gosh. As bad as our first victory was good. This is bad. So, there we go. Brutal war. Bad consequences. Let's move on. Just sweep that under the rug. Iron Storm Tank Doctrine. Company is now open. Alright. Now our Mark V Rev A have been involved. So tink, tink. Then this one, and then the Mark V's were put out there. I'm going to close this real fast just to take a look at this one more time. Yeah, we were... So very rough, developed, very low, high. Oops. Very rough, none. So the infrastructure was developed, now it's none. Very low, very high. Okay, battle intensity was very high, jeez. Do have some artillery here. Following the retreat after the Battle of the Frontier, the High Command has managed to rally its forces together with units of the French Army. Thanks to innovative air reconnaissance and radio intercepts, the Allies have identified a unique opportunity for Anglo-French forces to reverse the hitherto victorious German advance through France and Belgium territory, and are fully prepared to exploit this. All right, well, it's 15 of us against 19 of them. If I had to guess, unfortunately, I think that they will win this. That was my experience before, that the Sturmpanzer II, the A7V, defeated both my tanks, which I don't really understand. It doesn't look like it has very good frontal angling. At least this has a nice slope to it. Oh, we lost more tanks. That kind of makes sense, though. They're repaired. Well, I don't know, actually. Look at those 3 of them over there. Reconnaissance phase. One thing which is a glaring omission here is that there's no use of soft damage. Like, what is the deal with soft damage? Is there not an infantry element to here? Please kill them. Please kill them. Are they dead? They're dead! We did it! Oh my gosh, they didn't roll forward this time. This Mark V Rev A is the best. It is the best. I never doubted it for a moment. And it's clear that my prediction that we would overwhelmingly defeat them was correct. Lots of tongue-in-cheek there. Definitely wasn't my original prediction. But I'm glad that this happened because I do think I designed a very good tank. And I would be kind of at a loss how you could do any better, unless this was like a scripted thing for the Germans, just the A7V to be invincible. Okay, so we lost 3 tanks at the start of the battle. That's quite bad. I don't understand how road speed is a disaster for losing the tanks. I could see them not arriving on the battlefield, but I can't see... So it says 3 broken. Should they be broken or should they just not arrive? Maybe I'm just not really clear on this exactly. Okay, so we can grab this. It's fine. We get 2 first shots gained. Stealth was a benefit here, even though this tank is not that stealthy. Road speed was a huge negative. Obstacle trench width was somewhat problematic. Okay, good to know. So we hit the hull. No ricochet. Armory was penetrated. And destroyed 7 tanks. That's amazing. So marksman, okay, hitting their hull. Shots did not ricochet. Enemy tank had its hull penetrated. And they suffered collateral damage and has retreated from the battle. So it doesn't look like we were actually able to destroy them. Oh my gosh. They lost a total of 14, but they repaired 7? My goodness. These Germans and their repairs. We haven't repaired a single. Have we repaired a single tank? Sorry, Mark V? I don't know. Anyways, reputation gain, which was as good as our last defeat. Slightly better, I believe. So that's the good news. Okay, so that is the last battle that I've ever simulated, by the way. So the next one that happens after this is completely a mystery to me. Maybe the game ends. Who knows? Maybe you only have through September. I'm waiting for the demo to end because obviously we're clearly running out of things to do. Maybe we should just start getting some better primaries. I'm saying this because we are seeing how important firepower hard attack is. So let's just start going down this line. No, that's not that great. Let's go over to here. Even though this, what is this? Cut barrel or whatever it is. What's it called? Yeah, cut back. They call it. Oh, no. CWT. I thought I knew what this abbreviation was for. So the original is just the 6-pounder. Then there's a 6-pounder cut WT, cut weight. It's probably really obvious. Cut down. It's a cut down barrel. I don't know what the W is. But I want it though. I want it. So give it to me. Let's research it. Okay, there it is. They're giving us 20. So this is for Company C. They want 11 tanks. How many do I have? All right, so interesting. I definitely have to close this and go back. I'm pretty sure I have the medium whippet Rev B. And look at these values, by the way. We're getting 70. So once we go all the way down, yeah, it's still a 67 contract. Oh, wow. Okay, so the competition has a 55 to 88. It seems pretty good. I thought this was good, but no, apparently not. Anyway, we would get quite a lot of money for this, I guess. Yeah, 400,000 again. So what I need to do, though, is because, again, Company C is not necessarily where we want our tanks to end up. They want 11. They'll be okay with 16. They'll also be okay with, I guess, 6. So we could give them just the bare minimum of 6. I wouldn't want to not have a second Company D contract come out. Sorry, this is where I want to go. I want to go to the regiments. All right, so Company D is not forming yet. Company C is. But I believe that they're going to want the same thing. Now let's just see how many tanks I was able to produce. So I do have 4 Mark 1 prototypes. I have no Mark 5s. I have no Mark 5A, Rev A's. And then I have 22 of these. Okay. So if I want to give the full... Let's see, we have 22, 22, 22. If I have 22 of these and I believe in them, which I do, then... How many can I send? 22. Let me just keep that in my head. 22. 22. So to get 16 to the next group, I can only provide 6 to this group. Okay, well, then I will just provide 6 of these, and that'll still be a small amount of money. Maybe I should just do 7 and then do only 15 to the next group. That might be better. Let me just do that. 7 to this group and 15 to the next. Okay. So let's just offer 7. And maybe they'll decline it. You know, fine. Fair enough if they do. Then we'll just put them all in the next group. Cut down barrels. Okay. Oh, maybe it's cut down W barrels? Anyway, we have plenty of other things we can do here. Surprisingly, nothing else actually gets you a direct benefit. You have to use the technology bonus on an existing part. Well, we'll just go through all of them. They're really taking their time to accept this contract. Okay, Mark Firefly, announced by the Metropolitan Carriage and Wagon. The competition is fierce, and your competitors aren't going to let you have any easy wins. To make this possible, multiple components are made of cheap alloys, and even armor is somehow substituted with the common wrought iron plates. Yeah. Investigate the obtained photo. Oh, I know that, but we're able to share. I believe that our editor is trying to account for High Command's increasing demand for tanks. It's possible multiple. Oh, okay. So they're just trying to say that this tank is cheap, so that it can be met. Oh, it was rejected. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's completely okay. That's. I mean, it's a loss. We should have gotten some tanks out there, but I have never actually had a contract rejected, so it's those were subpar crew anyways. We wouldn't let our tanks be crewed by them. So I actually thought that those tank companies were crewed by multiple different tank contracts. Now I know that one company is crewed by only tanks from one like military division unit company, you know, organization on order of battle company is is supplied only by a business company. We have the word company being used in two ways here. All right, so company, hey, fantastic. Let's see them try to take this one from me. So yeah, we'll undercut the cost quite a bit. By the way, I suppose there should be some movement here. After our glorious victory, we are advancing. Oh, look at this! The BLC, the French tank, is making its way onto the field. 40 of them, and they're veterans. I don't know how they got to veteran status that quickly. But I love the name. This is called the French Tank 1. That strikes me as, yeah, historically accurate. So this is great. So we only suffered one defeat. German Empire victory. So Great Britain victory, German victory, and then Great Britain victory. So we're 3 out of 4. This is, our tanks are doing quite well, I would say. This is good. And basically this loss gets canceled out by one of the wins, like from a prestige standpoint. So we're kind of like 2 wins up. That's good. Okay, so I suppose there'll be another battle happening soon. Our company A has been pulled off. Maybe because it only has 4 tanks left. I'm surprised that they don't give you an opportunity to like refill on a contract after it takes damage. That I can actually see that being an interesting game balance way of doing things, where if you happen to lose tanks in battle, you also have the so the downside is you lose prestige, the downside is you didn't do well. But the upside could be you have more tanks you can build to replenish them. Maybe they'll ask for them at discount. I don't know. Or maybe it's just an opportunity to make money. Like if you're a bad loyalist and you're just out to make money, you can make your tanks just bad enough to do poorly enough to need replacement. Then you make more money. Okay, so let's go. That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go over here to fulfill this contract. We want to give them 17. We will give them immediately. This is 18, so we want to go down here, 89. Yeah, so right now we will definitely take the contract, but I will bump this up to let's go up to 20,000. I feel very comfortable with 20,000. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's offer this 17, and we can deliver them immediately. Actually, I don't know if that's true because we can only deliver. I think we have to deliver some of these by train. If I'm not mistaken, the maximum you can transport by truck might be capped. I have this vague recollection that it's capped at 15. Okay, they're using anti-tank weapons. Okay, good. We got this. We got the contract. Let's find out. And probably this is all. Oh, nope. You can get 17, no problem. I think the last time when I ran out of trucks, it was probably that I ran out of money or capacity. Oh, it might be capacity, that if you use them too often, the capacity goes down. So let me ship. Can I go back to logistics now? Yeah, there it is. So I ran out of capacity last time, which probably, just like the workers, slowly increases. Okay, fair enough. So in 7 days, we should have that contract complete. We're not hurting for money too much, so I could have done that one for barely a profit. And we have nothing to spend our money on now anyway. I guess I could be doing upgrades for no reason at all. But I also don't see the reason to do it, because there's no reason to do it. Same way there's no reason not to do it. And those, the shell ones, I think are the least important to do, because you can do those even while your engineering parts are being researched. And then, because those are only used in the final design, the engineering doesn't need them. I'm still interested to see what the next battle will be, but all I'm seeing is some maneuvering. Still wondering when our Mark V Rev A might see battle yet again. Ah, Company A Regiment is being deployed. It was already deployed. I'm not sure what this means. They only have 4 tanks. Here it goes. Probably should have asked me if I could give them any. I do have 4 tanks. Can I please give you my 4 tanks? I won't even charge you for them just so I can perform better. alas, is not to be. Okay, we completed that contract, got a good chunk of money for it. Reputation is way up to 69. So yeah, I don't know what this reputation will, ultimately it'll mean something. But right now the only thing we can read about is what it may mean. So this will put us at tier 3 or tier 4. Anyway, I'm going to call this video to a close here. We'll continue grinding through the rest of the battles in the next episode. It might be a very short one. I don't know. The demo might run out at the very end of October or something. So don't expect the next one to be super long. And I guess it's just going to be... we're basically done. So I'm going to end this one here, and I can almost guarantee you the next episode will be the last one, since we're really running out of things to do. But until then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.